First question we ask of any lens really, is it sharp? I'm here to report that the Nikkor 200 to 500 millimeter is a very sharp lens. I've had this lens really since the first month it became available on the US market, and I've used the lens in a variety of different environments on monopods, tripods, and also handheld. And I'm going to prove today that this lens is sharp by just looking at some photos. And to the extent possible on YouTube, I'm going to show you some 100% crops from these photos. I think when you look at these photos, you'll see this is a sharp lens.
I'm going to show you about a half dozen images, and this is the only one that was shot indoors. This image was shot at 18 millimeters using the 18 to 55 millimeter kit lens that many of us have in our camera bag. Now here's exactly the same shot with the Nikkor 200 to 500 at 500 millimeters. And here's an exact pixel for pixel 1920 by 1080 crop of that 500 millimeter shot. This is a JPEG image straight out of the camera. Now here's the same image with a little bit of sharpening applied in post. At the top of the image is Livingstone, I presume? Sorry. Guys, this lens is extremely sharp. Here's another look. On the left, the kit lens at 18 millimeters. On the right, the 200 to 500 at full telephoto. At this point, I could drop the microphone and walk off the stage. However, I'd rather go outside. Let's start out with a look at this humble crow. Now, all these images have been shot with a D7100 DX camera, so you get a 1.5 crop factor with no anti-aliasing filter. It just captures very sharp images. And this is a direct 1920 by 1080 pixel crop of the original image with no post-processing whatsoever. If you look closely into the crow's eyeball, you can actually make out my pickup truck. Now here's the same shot with a little bit of sharpening and the shadows lifted. Can you see the distorted image of the pickup truck? And by the way, this lens has a minimum focus distance of 7.2 feet. Yes, allowing you to get close-ups of a crow's eyeball. There's a lot of chromatic aberration in this shot, so here it is cleaned up with one easy click in Lightroom. Now let's head to Yellowstone National Park and a bighorn sheep. Again, we're going to go from the full-size image to an exact 1920 by 1080 pixel crop. Again, this is very sharp, straight out of the camera. Now here's a look with a little bit of mild sharpening applied in post, although this image doesn't really need it. From Yellowstone National Park to my exotic backyard. Here we have a tufted titmouse. No snickering, please. Bird photography is a great way to test the sharpness of a lens because all you birders out there want fine feather detail. Again, in this 1920 by 1080 pixel crop, there's plenty of detail right out of the camera. Now here's the image with a little bit of mild sharpening applied. And here's a great looking cardinal gathered at the local neighborhood buffet, which is the bird feeder in my backyard. A completely unedited 1920 by 1080 pixel crop. And the same crop with a little bit of mild sharpening applied. Again, just plenty of feather detail. Here's the same bird, cropped, no sharpening whatsoever, straight out of the camera. And now we're going to apply just a little bit of sharpening to the image. Again, I don't think it really needs sharpening. This lens is performing very well on a 24 megapixel sensor. From Cardinal to Carolina Chickadee. Another exact pixel crop with plenty of feather detail. Straight out of the camera with no sharpening. And now here's the image with a little bit of sharpening in post. How about a house finch? You know the drill. Here's the 100% crop. And here's the crop with just a little bit of sharpening applied. Of course, you're always going to get the best results when your subject is close to your camera. Here's a bald eagle in Montana who is keeping quite a distance from me. Nevertheless, I think I got a usable image here. And here's a look at the eagle with a 100% 1920 by 1080 pixel crop. And with a little sharpening applied, just for the hell of it. Finally, here's a pileated woodpecker. These guys like to keep their distance. Now, this isn't the greatest woodpecker shot you'll ever see in your life. However, this guy was really far away. And here's the exact pixel crop. Sure, I wish there was more detail here, but I can't blame the lens. At a certain point, it's incumbent on me to get closer to the wildlife. Considering that this was shot handheld from pretty much standing in the next county, it turned out pretty damn good.
Nikon may have cut some corners with this lens, but they cut corners in all the right places, in my opinion. They did not compromise image quality. If you're comfortable with a 5.6 lens, I think this is a unique value offering in the Nikon telephoto world. Personally, I'm very pleased with my copy of this lens. It's just a great lens and a great value. Thanks guys for tuning in. I'm Sean with LOLOHO.
If you liked this video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. And if you want to read reviews or pick up your own copy of the Nikkor 200 to 500mm f5.6 lens, you can help support our channel by simply clicking the link in the YouTube description for this video.